Welcome to another edition of our Solopreneur Movement podcast. My name is Dr. Bruce Lawn. I'm the founder and director of 90 Day Sales Manager, and of course, the host of the Solopreneur Movement podcast. The Solopreneur Movement is really a cause where so many different people out there in sales, especially newer or earlier on in their careers, they're solopreneurs. A solopreneur is where it falls solely on you to go out there and do your sales, your service, your marketing, and all of this is a mindset, right? All of this is helping you build, maintain, and protect your confidence. And today I want to help you move the needle in your multitasking, right? Multitasking is almost impossible. Multitasking really comes down to time block and time management, the number one biggest missing structures and challenges that people have as solopreneurs when you're being pulled in so many different directions, wearing multiple hats every single day. So let's help you stop multitasking in today's episode. Let's jump right into today's episode as we break down how to stop multitasking. It is one of the biggest challenges that we all face as quote unquote solopreneurs, where it falls solely on you to wear multiple hats every single day, right? And so I want to help you kind of alleviate this and give you a plan of attack to stop wearing so many hats, right? We can't be all things to all people, just like we can't run the various components of our business all at once. So we really have to pick and choose where and how we spend our time, right? Time management, time, energy is the biggest challenge that so many different people have, right? Time block as a coach, it's the number one thing. Anytime that I do a quote unquote discovery call with somebody, it's always on time block. Like, what are your biggest missing structures? Is it follow up? Is it consistency? Is it discipline? So many times it really does revolve around time management. And I always tell people there's no such thing as time management. There's only me management, right? At the end of the day, we all get the same amount of time every single day. It's how we choose to spend that time, how efficient we are with that time. And so one of my favorite expressions that I learned a long time ago when it comes to time block and time management, specifically with completing bigger tasks, is how do we eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? So when it comes to you going out there and you're like, you know what, I need to fill up my database. I need to fill up my pipeline with new leads. Well, how do you do that? You do that with one conversation at a time, one target at a time. Right? And so that's the only way that we can do all of these things. And so when you look at your business, like, it's simple on paper, but it's never going to be easy because there are so many components that go into that, okay? So the science behind multitasking is studies show, I'm a big stats guy. I love science. I love empirical evidence when it comes to these different things that we train on, right? So when our brain is consistently switching gears from idea to idea, task to task, then it really almost is impossible to go deeper into that one item, right? So anytime that you're doing a task that requires you to dig deeper or to think deeper, it's going to be almost impossible for you to start doing this task. And then I'm going to go check my social media over here, and then I'm going to check my email. And so one of the things that has really helped me with multitasking or with overcoming multitasking is called time compression. Time compression is where you just tell yourself, all right, over the next 10, 15 minutes, I want to be laser focused on this one thing, right? And so whenever I kind of time block 60 minutes to 90 minutes at a time, or if I have a day that's like kind of lighter on the schedule, a lot of times I won't get laser focused on that one activity that needs to get done, okay? So when I've switched over to this, what is the highest use of my time right now? What's the highest value of my time right now to get something done? And then compress that time into 15 minutes, I'm telling you, I can be laser focused on that one idea or that one task. And then let's say over those 15 minutes, like I didn't get it done and I want to continue to work on it, then I go a little bit deeper into that task. Okay, I'm going to do another 15 minutes on that one thing. All right. So that has really helped me with multitasking. The other thing with multitasking is, again, like you're all solopreneurs, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And so I love following theme days. So Mondays for me in my business might be more client-facing days. It might be more backstage days. I'm catching up on things, and I'm also doing client-facing meetings and conversations and coaching calls or webinars, okay? And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for me is, man, I'm out in the field right now. It's like I want to be in front of as many people as I possibly can, whether that's me speaking at events, whether that's me calling on my database of people, spending 90 minutes of proactive prospecting. You know, maybe on Tuesdays, I'm calling all of my past clients. Maybe on Wednesdays, I'm calling all my current clients. Maybe on Thursdays, I'm calling on all my new business conversations, right? So for you, it's the same concept. I want to call on new business. I want to call on my favorite people, which could be my referral partners or my past clients or my biggest advocates. And I want to call on all my past clients, right? So thinking about it that way, like I love following theme days where I wake up with that dominant focus for that day. And now that's the main focus for me. And then as things happen around me, I need to pick and choose the priorities versus what takes precedence, right? So when I think about priorities, like I want to be laser focused on this one task for 15 minutes. But let's say a fire does come up. Maybe something's going on with my family that I need to take that takes priority. So I need to shift gears and shift hats to go focus on that one thing before maybe coming back to that task. But I also have non-negotiables. Every single day I have 90 minutes non-negotiable on my proactive prospecting, where I'm outbound activities. I'm proactively prospecting other people. Every single day I have 30 minutes on my marketing activities. It could be doing videos like these, right? It could be me doing handwritten notes for the month, right? I like to batch activities. So whenever I'm looking at multitasking, it really is, okay, 15 to 30 minutes, hyper focus, a disciplined focus on this one thing. And then I might take a break and go check my email or check my social media, okay? But that's another key point here, talking about multitasking, is a lot of people find creative ways to not do the things that they should be doing. Because typically the hard task, again, requires your brain to work. When I sit down to create my weekly podcast, for instance, like I actually will typically spend 30 to 60 minutes on that one podcast, coming up with the content, doing research for it, organizing my thoughts, okay? And then I might need to take a little bit of a break and then come back and say, okay, I got 15 minutes to laser focus to get the podcast done. And there are so many other activities that you need to do that same focus on when it comes to that process. But to me, it is hyper-focus 15 to 30 minutes at a time. Instead of finding creative ways to not do the heavy lifting, to not do the work that is required. The process must always be followed and the price must always be paid. The things that are going to get you paid typically require the most energy, which is where so many different people find creative ways to not do those things. Whether that's following up with a client, whether that's overcoming objections or handling objections, right? Whatever that might be, it typically requires the most energy and the most mindset when it comes to those activities versus finding creative ways. I'm going to mindlessly scroll through social media. I'm going to mindlessly scroll through my email. I'm going to go out there and find busy work to do, right? I'm going to turn on Netflix. I'm going to listen to audio while I'm working. Guys, at the end of the day, it really does come down to the halo effect. The halo effect, when I was an athlete, my best semesters in school was always when I was in season because I knew I had 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours of laser focus to get things done, to get my schoolwork done, to get all this other stuff done that were non-negotiables for me to continue playing baseball, okay? It's the same thing for you and your business. Every single day you have 90 minutes of tasks that are non-negotiables that you have to get done to continue to help grow your business, whether that's on the marketing side or the professional development side with your prospecting. So my main point here being for all of you when it comes down to multitasking is when you wake up and you look at a day and maybe it's a lighter day and you got, I got 6 hours to get anything that I want to get done. And that's the biggest issue right there. So then you jump from idea to idea versus time compression. Time compression is I have 15 minutes to do this. I have 30 minutes to do this. I have 60 minutes to do this. And then from there, consistently getting that on your calendar. Those are non-negotiables for me and my business. So non-negotiable for me and my business, I have to proactively prospect every single day. But I'm going to have 30 to 60 to 90 minutes of activities that I know that are going to require me to do office hours, where it's putting out fires, where it's reaching out to current clients, where it's customer support, right? Whatever that might be. For you, it might be, I have 90 minutes every single day where it's going to require me, maybe you're a single parent and it's going to require you to do something with your family, that's non-negotiables. Those are priorities that you must take. But so many people, it's not the priorities that eat up their time. It's that self-discipline. It's the time wasters. It's the distractions. It's jumping from one idea to another, right? Kind of this ADHD world. So I need you to hyper-focus 15 to 30 minutes on a certain task every single day and build theme days. Have that dominant focus around that one idea, that one task. Mondays, I'm doing this. Tuesdays, I'm doing this. Wednesdays, I'm doing this. Thursdays, I'm doing this. Fridays, I'm doing this. Saturdays, I'm doing this. Maybe Sundays, you recharge. All right? But that to me is how you overcome multitasking is you make things priorities and then you have to ask yourself, what are the biggest obstacles that I'm going to face? What are the biggest time wasters that I'm going to face? What are the things that are going to come up throughout the day that I need to decide? Is that a multitask item or is that I need to stay laser focused on this one thing that I'm doing So guys, overcome this multitasking. It does not work. Whenever you need to do deep critical thinking and you're jumping from task to task every 5 minutes, you cannot possibly go deeper into that one task that needs to get done.